Hello and welcome to this short somatic yoga practice to help you have a good night's sleep and to help you fall asleep. For this practice, you may like to have a strap. So you could have a yoga strap, or you could have your bathrobe strap or a tie or a long sock. If you don't have one of these, don't worry about it. There are other ways. But if you do, then I suggest that you stop this video for a moment, go and find your strap, and then come back to your mat. So we'll start by coming onto our backs and with the knees bent. Let your arms just fall away from your body. And how about we take a nice long exhale out through the mouth. Start to feel the connection between your body and the floor, or if you're on your bed, the connection between your body and the bed. And just see if you can allow your body to soften towards whatever's supporting you with each exhale. You might notice that some parts of your body are holding on a little bit more than other parts. And it might be in parts that you might not expect it to be, such as in the jaw, the wrists, even in the toes. So just spend some time just feeling into your body and noticing where it might be holding on tight. And seeing if those areas may like to soften. See if you can breathe through the nostrils only. If you can't, not to worry. Now see if you can allow your exhale to become longer than your inhale, if it isn't already. So take a little moment here just to notice the rhythm of your breath. You might notice that when you inhale, that your belly, rib cage expand. You might notice that that expansion isn't just in the front of your body, but also the sides and the back. You might notice with your exhale that your body softens and releases. And then just seeing now how long your inhale is and lengthening your exhale comfortably. So for some people that might be lengthening it to double the amount. For others that might be lengthening it by a count or two. So letting it feel natural. And then softly now just letting your head go side to side. So with your exhale, let your head turn one direction. On your inhale, bring the head back to center. And then with the next exhale, turning the opposite way. See here if you can allow your head to be really heavy as you turn it from side to side. So you can feel like you're getting a little massage here in the back of your head. See here now if the tongue might like to come away from the roof of the mouth if it's not already. Find softness in your jaw. And if your jaw and your tongue are just not wanting to soften, what you can do is either have a very large mouth, yawn, or you could keep your mouth closed and yawn. And feel the space inside the mouth and even inside the head space. And you might notice here now as your head is softening, the muscles of the head are softening and releasing. You're feeling a ripple effect of softness down through the neck, maybe also around the backs of the shoulders. And you might like to just open your arms out a little further. And then with the next exhale, bringing the lower part of your body into the movement. So as your head turns one direction, let your knees drop the opposite way. And as you inhale, letting the head and the knees come back to center. Nice and slowly. You don't have to go to the full range of motion if that doesn't feel comfortable. Simply taking time here to explore, how does it feel? Can you feel parts of your body releasing? You may notice that if you push your feet deeper into the ground as you draw the knees back to center, that you give yourself a nice massage in the lower back. And a few more like this. And the inhale coming back to center. The exhale, letting the head and knees drop either side. And then when you're ready, so after maybe one or two more, simply coming back to center with the knees and the head facing towards the ceiling, and taking a nice large inhale through the nose and your exhale out through the wide mouth, feeling the weight of your body dropping towards the floor. From here now, we're going to just extend the right leg. So your right leg is long, and you're going to keep your left foot on the floor with the left knee bent. Now I wonder if you can just let the right side of your body go on holiday. What that means is you're going to let your right leg relax. You're going to let the whole right side of your torso relax. Feel the right hip get heavy. And then becoming really aware now of your left foot on the floor or on the bed. Spread your toes and just become aware here of the contact of your foot, and see if you can even it out into the backs of the heels, the left and the right side of your heel, and around the big toe and the root of the big toe, and the little toe and the root of the little toe. And these areas are what I call the four corners of your feet. So see if you can even out the weight here. You might also like to lift your toes up and spread them apart and see if you can bring one toe down at a time. Don't get too held up in this, that's a whole different class. But just seeing with curiosity if that's possible today. Then on your inhale now, pushing evenly into your left foot and the outer edges and inner edges. And then on the exhale, letting that effort go. So all you're doing is on the inhale, pushing your foot down towards the floor or the bed. And on the exhale, releasing. If your right leg is relaxed enough, you might find that your right leg rotates outwards. And if that's happening, that's fine. Don't stop that from happening. So this is a practice that brings us into the area of the psoas. We're kind of giving it a little bit of a massage. And you might notice that as you push your foot into the floor, your left knee may pull a little further forward towards the front of the room. What you don't want is for your knee to knock in or release outwards. You want it to face forward at all time. So as you're pushing your foot into the floor and maybe the knee is also drawing forward, you might also find that your left hip is lifting away from the floor and maybe even turning towards the right side of the room. This is a somatic movement. We want it to be organic. We want the movement to come from the foot, pushing into the ground, and then feeling the ripple effect through your body. If this is the first time you've ever done this, then it might be that you are simply just feeling your foot on the floor, and that's fine. This is not a process to be rushed. There is no end goal. We are simply using the movement to explore and to feel. Now you could continue like this. If you wanted to bring the upper half of your body into the movement, then this is possible. If you have any shoulder injuries and it's not comfortable for you to bring your hand underneath your shoulder, then you may like to bring your hand around the back of your head with the elbow towards the ceiling. Otherwise, you could bring a fist underneath your left shoulder or have your palm down as if you're coming into wheel pose, which means that your fingertips would face towards the front of the mat with the heel of your hand on the floor. And as you inhale, you push your hand into the floor, as well as, of course, pushing your foot, because this is where the movement comes from. And on the exhale, releasing all the effort, coming back to your centered space. Now if your neck, muscles and head are relaxed enough, and you're coming into the upper half of your body here, you might find that your head also rolls along with you. And so don't stop that from happening. Do a few more. Keeping those nice long exhales. Doing one more now. And then eventually just letting your arm come back down if you used your arm. And extending your left leg and just breathing into your whole body for a moment, observing the difference between the left side of your body and the right side of your body. We might like to take a nice large exhale out through the mouth. If you do, then go ahead. And we'll come to the other side. So bending your right knee now and letting your left side relax. So your left leg's going to go on holiday. Left hip drops down. And taking a little moment here, once again now, to feel the contact between your right foot and the ground or the bed beneath you. Feeling into all four corners here. And once again, you may like to bring your toes off the floor and spread them apart and just let them come down one by one. Then pushing your foot now into the ground on your inhale. And on your exhale, simply letting the effort go. Remember now, this is a whole new side, so don't force the movement to go further than it's ready to go. You want to start the movement with your inhale, and that inhale cues your foot to push into the floor. And over time and repetition, your knee will pull forward. And maybe, just maybe, over time again, your right hip will start to peel off the floor and towards the left side of your room. We're not forcing anything though. This is an organic movement. And you can use this movement to simply explore into your body. Notice how it responds. You might even notice that there is a difference between the two sides of your body. And once again here now, you have the option of continuing to explore using your foot only, or you could bring the upper half of your body into the movement, either once again by bringing your palm around the back of your head with your elbow to the sky, or having a fist on the floor underneath your shoulder, or your palm flat on the floor with the fingers pointing towards the front of the mat. And if the head wants to roll, then you simply allow the head to roll along with you. Once again, we'll do 2 or 3 more. And when you're ready, coming back into your star shape, feeling here now into your whole body, reaching through your toes and reaching through your fingertips on the inhale, and exhale, whole body softens on the exhale. We'll bend both knees now, have both feet hip width apart. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, and simply now on your inhale push your tailbone into the floor as well as the back of your head and your shoulders. And on your exhale, lengthen the tailbone towards your heels. This for a few long breaths. Now we'll bring a pillow or 2 pillows underneath your back. So they're going to go about just underneath your sacrum. I'll just bring my block. And you can use a pillow. You don't need to be too high up. You're going to bring that pillow underneath the sacrum. Let your arms release away from you and just let your lower back now soften down and towards the void here. Let your glutes relax, backs of the thighs relax. Keeping your exhales nice and long. I'm going to pause here for about 10 breaths. And now the reason why we pause here for a little while is because sometimes the back muscles need a little bit of encouragement and time to relax. They keep us up all day long, and sometimes it's quite difficult for them to release. You might even find that your thighs are still holding on tight, or your upper back is holding on tight, or your lower back even. And if that's the case, feel into where is holding on. Notice it and imagine sending your exhale into that space, as if your exhale can simply unwind and release any tension here. You might notice over time that your body would appreciate a little bit more space in certain places, like in the collarbones. You might like to open the arms a bit more, or the elbows. What I mean by that is your elbows can come further away from your body, and you could place your hands on your belly. We'll take one more breath here, maybe taking that exhale out through the mouth. And slowly lifting your sit bones up and very slowly letting your spine come down vertebra by vertebra. Here now, we're gonna see about flexing a right foot, the right foot, and placing it across your left thigh. You may like to stay here. What you might find is a stretch coming into the outer right glute. If you're not feeling anything at all, you can bring your knee, your left knee, towards your chest. This is where you may like to have a strap. So some people might be able to comfortably lie here with their arms out away from their legs. Others may like a bit of support. So for some people, you may be able to bring your hands around your left thigh and hold here. For others, you may like to bring your strap around your left thigh and hold your strap. In fact, this might be better because this way you can keep your elbows on the floor and your shoulders soft. So when we activate the shoulders and the upper body, we're basically bringing our body into a space of activation where we're ready for the day, if you like. Whereas here we want to soften that upper body. Now here we're coming into the lower body and we're giving a little bit of a stretch to the lower body. Just releasing the hips. If this feels enough for you, then you can stay here. Otherwise, you might like to flex your left foot and bring it up to the sky. And on your exhale, point your left foot and bend the knee. So there's a little bit of movement going on here. So just see how you're feeling today. You may appreciate some movement, or you may like to keep into this stillness and simply feel what comes up. If you've been moving your left leg now, keep it still. And then here we have a choice again. You could either keep your left foot off the floor or bring the left foot onto the floor if you did bring it up. Let your arms come away from your body and just simply let your body rock side to side. You can let your head go the opposite direction. Again, here we don't have to go to the full range of movement. Just go to where's comfortable. If you do have your foot off the floor, you may also like to do some nice large circles here with the legs. So you keep the legs as they are, but you circle them around. Letting your head move in any which direction feels good. And circling the opposite direction. And then eventually, coming back to stillness, either with the foot off the floor or on the floor, and completely cross now your right thigh over your left thigh and guide your legs over to the left using your left hand, seeing if you can keep your right shoulder on the floor. Now, if you find that your right shoulder is going way off the floor, there's several things we can do. We could just wiggle the hips a little further towards the right side of the mat. or the bed if you're on the bed. You might like to prop your pillows underneath your crossed legs here and just let the weight of your legs drop into the pillows. And otherwise, if it's really not feeling great for you here, simply stack the legs, so one leg over the other, and you could place a pillow between your legs. So find the one that's right for you. And your arms could be spread out wide, they could be in a cactus shape. You could keep your left hand weighing down onto your thigh. Whatever feels right. This isn't a practice to challenge the body. This is a practice to feel into the body. Notice where might be holding on. And giving yourself time and space to soften those areas. I'm going to pause here now for about 7 breaths. Keeping the exhales nice and long. And how about we take the next exhale out through a wide open mouth. Just letting the weight of your body soften down. Eventually bringing the head and the legs back to center. Uncrossing the legs. Bringing the tailbone back to center. Taking a moment here just to feel once again the difference between the two sides of your body. We'll come to the other side. So with a flexed left foot, bring your heel across your right thigh. Find here now which one feels best for you. Would you prefer to keep your right foot on the floor, pulling your left thigh away from your body? And if you're feeling quite a stretch here in the outer edge of your hip, then this might be the place to stay. Otherwise, we can bend the right knee while still pulling the left thigh away. Then either holding around your thigh, your right thigh, or using your strap, keeping your shoulders soft here. Exploring into the sensation that you might be feeling here in the hips. Let your right foot relax. Feeling your back soften to the floor. And again here the choice of either staying as you are, or as you inhale now, flexing your right foot to the sky. And on the exhale, pointing your foot as you bend your knee. If you've chosen movement, doing one more before coming back into stillness. Then either choosing now to stay as you are, or if you've got your foot off the floor, you might like to bring your foot onto the floor here to rock left and right, letting your head move along with you. So you keep the shape of the legs, but you let your body roll left and right. If you've kept your right foot off the floor here, you might also like to do some large circles. Doesn't matter which direction, as we'll do the opposite direction after. Again here, letting your head just move in any way that feels right. Then go in the opposite direction. And then eventually coming back to stillness if you're not in stillness already, and crossing your left thigh over your right thigh and guiding your legs over towards the right. Letting your head maybe look the opposite direction if that's comfortable, or you keep your head facing towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders soften and take a little moment to nuzzle and find the right place for you to pause here. Remembering the option here of bringing your pillows underneath your legs or stacking the legs. As you take some time here now to explore the inhale, where's still holding on, and using nice long exhales to see if you can soften those areas down towards the support beneath you. Maybe letting this next exhale come out through the mouth. And then slowly coming back to center, feeling fully into the whole body here now. Now either finishing here with Apanasana, which is when we bring the knees towards the chest, or into Happy Baby, which is when we bring either our fingers around our big toes, or we bring the hands around the outer edges of the feet. We could also use our strap here and bring it around the feet. If the strap's long enough, your shoulders and elbows can release down towards the floor here. Whichever one you choose, take some nice long exhales, feeling your back releasing down towards your support. In Happy Baby, your heels are lifting and striving to go towards the sky, whilst you use your hands to pull the feet towards the floor. Your knees are bent, pulling towards the floor either side of you. Then either in Apanasana with your knees towards your chest, Or in Happy Baby, you might choose to stay here in stillness, or again, you might like to simply rock left to right, giving the back a little massage. Letting your head roll along with you. Eventually coming into either Shavasana or maybe simply rolling into your sleepy position, ready for a good night's sleep.